In last lecture, discuss about conditional SSE as well as the unconditional SSE. So conditional SSE is nothing but it is a minimization of the quantity y minus x beta transpose y minus x beta subject to the condition lambda beta equal to d, where lambda beta is nothing but it is a m parametric functions, and we have obtained that the difference between the conditional SSE and unconditional SSE is nothing but it is a some quadratic form of a blues of lambda beta, that is a lambda beta cap minus d transpose lambda beta dash lambda s bar lambda dash inverse lambda beta cap minus lambda beta. But here lambda beta we consider as a d. So the difference between the conditional SSE and unconditional SSE is defined as lambda beta cap minus d transpose lambda s bar lambda dash inverse lambda beta cap minus d. What is the lambda beta cap minus d? What is the lambda s bar lambda dash inverse? It is the inverse of variance covariance matrix of blues of lambda beta except the quantity sigma squares. This is what we have obtained in the last lecture. Now, are we in that position to represent the difference between the conditional SSE and unconditional SSE in a different form? So I will show you that thing. This we have obtained in the last lecture. The difference between the conditional SSE and unconditional SSE is nothing but it is a quadratic form of a blues, where blue is measured from specified distance d, where d is nothing but it is a known value and it is a m parametric condition lambda beta equal to d. So now, can I be in that position to represent this quadratic form in a different form? So for that there is a one more theorem. Show that the difference between conditional SSE and unconditional SSE is expressed as maximum over maximum is taken over A is the maximum of A dash lambda beta cap minus d whole square upon a dash lambda s bar lambda dash a, where A is of order m cross 1 and maximum is taken over all possible value of A. So we wish to show that the difference between conditional SSC and unconditional SSC can be expressed in this form. Okay. So first we should know that what is the difference between the conditional SSC and unconditional SSC. We should know that form, and then we try to prove this result, get that expressed in this format. So prove. We know that conditional SSC minus unconditional SSC, that is difference between the conditional SSC and unconditional SSC, is it nothing but it is a quadratic form of a blue, where the distance of blue is measured from a specified value d, and the variance covariance matrix of this quadratic form is the inverse of variance covariance matrix of a blue except the quantity sigma square. So this is we know. So now we have to show this quantity can be expressed in this form. So here we will use the concept of the Cauchy-Squarz inequality. The Cauchy-Squarz inequality is, what is that? U dash into V square is less than or equal to U dash U into V dash V. This inequality you must have used in the probability theory, or you must have used in the correlation regression study in the BSc level, where you have shown that the correlation is less than or equal to, the square of correlation is less than or equal to 1. So where we have used this. But anyhow, we will use the Cauchy-Squarz inequality. So how we can use? So let us assume U is equal to. So what is the U? So U is equal to, you can say that lambda S bar lambda transpose raised to half A. Why we are assuming like that? Because you can see that if I am saying that this is a U dash into V square and this is a U dash U, then what should be the V? So this is nothing but quadratic form is something like a V. So what should be the V? We assume U equal to this and V equal to, what you can assume V equal to? Lambda S bar lambda dash raised raised to minus half into lambda beta cap minus b. So what we assume, it is a lambda s bar lambda dash. This is a lambda dash. I will write here again. Lambda s bar lambda dash raised to minus half. Okay. So you have this. So what is the u dash v? U dash v is nothing but you have to take the transpose of this. That means a dash lambda s bar lambda dash, but it is a symmetric, so you can write it as it is raised to half, and v is equal to this, so lambda s bar lambda dash raised to minus half lambda beta cap minus d, and we have a the square. Okay. Now less than or equal to, what is u dash u? So u dash is nothing but this, so you can say that a dash lambda s bar lambda dash raised to half, and again u is lambda s bar lambda dash raised to half. Okay. What is v? V is equal to this, so what is v dash? V dash is nothing but lambda beta minus d transpose lambda s bar lambda dash raised to minus half, and again you have a v, so that is lambda s bar lambda dash raised to minus half lambda beta cap minus d. Okay, so what you can write, this will be cancel out. Why? Because lambda s bar lambda dash raised to half, and this is minus half, so it is a identity matrix, so you can write it as a dash lambda beta cap minus d whole square, and here it is less than or equal to, what you can write, this is also this is a lambda s bar lambda dash raised to half lambda s bar lambda dash raised to half, so it is a raised to 1, so you can write it as a dash lambda s bar lambda dash a. And what about this? This is a minus half, it is a minus 1, so this is a quadratic form, lambda beta cap minus d transpose lambda s bar lambda dash raised to minus 1 lambda beta cap minus d. Okay, so if you take this in a left hand side in denominator, so you can get a dash lambda beta cap minus d whole square upon a dash lambda s bar lambda dash a less than or equal to lambda beta cap minus d. So it is a lambda beta cap minus d transpose lambda s bar lambda dash raised to minus 1 lambda beta cap minus d. But when this inequality becomes the equality, when a is proportional to or u is proportional to v. So let us say the inequality becomes equality. The inequality in 2 star becomes equality if u is proportional to v. So what is u? U you have taken is a lambda s bar lambda dash raised to half a is proportional to what is v? V is equal to lambda s bar lambda dash raised to minus half lambda beta cap minus b. So which implies if you pre-multiply both the side by raised to minus half lambda raised to half, so what you will get? You will get a is proportional to lambda s bar lambda dash raised to minus 1. This is lambda beta cap minus b. Okay, so inequality is happen if you take maximum over a. So when a is proportional to this quantity. Okay, so that means, but what is this? Therefore, maximum of a over a dash lambda beta cap minus d whole square upon a dash lambda s bar lambda dash a is equal to lambda beta cap minus d transpose lambda s bar lambda dash inverse lambda beta cap minus b, and this is nothing but the difference between conditional SSE minus unconditional SSE. And the okay, so you can write difference between the conditional SSE as unconditional SSE as a quadratic form of a blue, but that can also be expressed as a maximum over a dash lambda beta cap minus d whole square upon a dash lambda s bar lambda dash a. So how we have proved this theorem? We have used the concept of a Cauchy-Scarf inequality, and we assume u is equal to lambda s bar lambda dash half a and v is equal to lambda s bar lambda dash raised to minus half lambda beta cap. Any questions up to this? Okay, so now we will
सर वो प्रोपोर्शनल वाला
proportional
सर वो मैक्सिमम ऑफ ए के ऊपर वाला स्टेप सर उसमें किससे मल्टीप्लाई किया सर?
इसको आप इफ यू मल्टीप्लाई बाय लैम्बडा एस बार लैम्बडा डेस रेज टू माइनस हाफ, तो यहाँ मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे, यहाँ पे भी करेंगे, यहाँ माइनस हाफ है प्लस हाफ है, तो ये क्या होगा आइडेंटिटी, और यहाँ पे माइनस से हाफ से मल्टीप्लाई करेंगे तो माइनस हाफ ऑलरेडी है, तो ये क्या हो गया माइनस 1. तो ए इज प्रोपोर्शनल टू लैम्बडा एस बार लैम्बडा डेस इनवर्स लैम्बडा बीटा डेस माइनस 3. ठीक है, तो यहाँ पे why I have taken maximum, because what it is saying that this quantity is less than or equal to this. तो ये maximum कब होगा? When you take this quantity, maximum value of this quantity, तभी वो equal to होगा ना, क्योंकि ये तो क्या है, this quantity ये और उससे छोटी है, तो equal to कब होगा ये? जब इसकी maximum value लेंगे तभी होगा ना. That is how I have written the maximum. Equality you require, but when equality sign hold, so when you take maximum over this, so a क्या होना चाहिए? तो a should be proportional to this at that time. Now We have obtained in the earlier lectures the distribution of the sum of square due to errors, distribution of the quadratic form, that is lambda beta cap minus lambda beta transpose lambda s bar lambda dash inverse lambda beta cap minus lambda beta, and it is a chi-square m. We also obtain the distribution of a lambda beta cap minus d transpose lambda s bar lambda dash lambda beta cap minus d, where lambda beta is not d. So at that time we obtain the non-central chi-square distribution. Okay. Now we will talk about the distribution of a regression sum of squares. Distribution of regression sum of squares. We know that we denote them as a SSR due to beta. So to obtain this distribution sum of squares, we will prove one theorem. For the model, y is equal to x beta plus epsilon. Epsilon follows normally independent with mean 0 sigma square in. The distribution of SSR beta sum of square due to regression divided by sigma square is non-central chi-square with r degrees of freedom. The rank of x. So r degree of freedom, why? Because the rank of x is r. Chi-square with the r degree of freedom, the rank of x, and non-centrality parameters. Beta dash s beta upon sigma square. Also show that SSR beta and SSE are independently distributed. Okay, so we wish to show that the SSR upon sigma square has the non-central chi-square distribution with rank r, where R is not with R degree of freedom, where R is nothing but the rank of X, and has the non-centrality parameter beta S beta upon sigma square. Further, we wish to show that the sum of square due to regression and sum of square due to errors are independently distributed. So what we have given, so we will start from that. It is given that expected value of epsilon is 0, variance of epsilon is sigma square im. Therefore, the expected value of y is a linear function of this, it is x beta, and variance of y is sigma square im. So this we know. Now to obtain distribution of SSR beta, we define it as, so we know that what is the SSR beta? Beta is unknown, so we just substitute their estimated value. So we have already proved that it is a beta cap transpose Q, and it is nothing but beta cap transpose X dash Y. But what is beta cap? Beta cap is nothing but, what is that beta cap? S bar X dash Y, that transpose X dash Y, because beta cap is equal to S bar Q or S bar X dash Y. So that can be written as Y transpose X S bar transpose X transpose Y. But because we are talking about the blue, we can write S bar transpose as a S bar so this can be written as a P. So P is nothing but S bar X dash. Okay, so this is a SSR beta cap can be written as a quadratic form of a observation, where what is the P square? So P square is equal to X S bar X dash X S bar X dash. So that is equal to X S bar X dash X S bar X dash. So that is nothing but X S bar S S bar X dash. So that can be written as X H S bar X dash, but X H equal to X, so we can write it as a X dash, and that is a P. Okay, so it means that P is a idempotent. Matrix of rank R. Why rank R? Because you can see that the P is a represent in the terms of a X. And what is the rank of X? Rank of X is R. So the P has also rank R. And what is the P dash? P dash equal to X S bar X dash this. So this is nothing but X S bar dash X transpose. But as I said that can be written as a X S bar X dash Y, because when you find the blue, you can write that S bar is a transpose equal to S bar. So P is also symmetric. So now we know that the theorem from a spectral decomposition. The P is symmetric and idempotent matrix of order. What is the order? So X has a n cross P, P cross P, P cross n. So it is a n cross n. There exists an orthogonal matrix L such that, what will you write? Such that you can write L P L dash is nothing but diagonal of. So what are the eigenvalues of idempotent matrix? They are the 1 and 0. So how many times 1 is repeat? It is a r time. And how many times 0 is repeating? N minus r time. So this is a r time and this is a n minus r time. So this can be written in this way, because rank of P is equal to R and its eigenvalue are 1 and 0. One is repeat R times. Yes, rank of P. Okay. So now we know that, what we know that? We know that SSR beta cap we have written as a quadratic form of a y dash P y. But can I write like this y dash? मैं यहाँ पे L transpose A लिख सकता हूँ. Why? Because L transpose L is identity. L is the orthogonal matrix. P as it is. वापिस I can write L transpose L. So this can be written as Ly transpose Lp L transpose Ly. If I call them as a U transpose Lp L transpose U. But what is LPL transpose? So LPL transpose is nothing but we already obtained. It is a diagonal of 1 1 1. How many times? It is r time. And 0 0 0. How many times? It is a n minus r times. So it is a matrix of diagonal matrix of 1 0. 1 repeat r time, the rank of P matrix. And 0 is a n minus r, because the order of P is a n cross n. So this can be written as a u1 square plus u2 square plus up to ur square. Okay. So if we give the equation numbers, suppose this is equation number 1, this is equation number 2, this is equation number 3. So now to find out the distribution of SSR beta cap, it is as to find out the distribution of u1 square plus u2 square upon ur square. So before finding the distribution of this, first we find out what is the distribution of u.
Excuse
We
me,
know
sir.
that, yes,
So इक्वेशन नंबर 1 दिखाइए ना एक बार.
yes, u equal to L dash, yes. Okay, this is SSR beta cap equal to, we have obtained this quadratic form. Now we have used this quadratic form here, and just we have, instead of identity matrix I have written L dash L. Here I can also write identity matrix, written L dash L, and then just making the simplification I got SSR beta cap equal to this. So now I wish to find out the distribution of that, and for that I require to find the distribution of u. What is the distribution of y? So let us find out the first mean and variance. The expectation of u is equal to expectation of L dash y, and expectation of L dash y. L dash is constant. Expectation of y is x beta. So it is a L dash x beta. And variance of y equal to is a variance of L dash y. And variance of L dash y is L dash variance of y L. But what is variance of y? It is a sigma square in. So that is a sigma square L dash L, and that is nothing but sigma square in. Why? Because L dash is a identity matrix. So mean of u is L dash x beta, and variance is nothing but sigma square in. But what is the distribution of y? We know that y is distributed as a normal, multivariate normal with mean x beta and variance sigma square in. Therefore, u is a linear function of y. So if y is a normal, u is also normal. How many? It has a, how many observation? कितने आएंगे? को बता सकता है? U is a function of L dash x beta. What is the order? What is the order? L का order n cross n. This is n cross p. This is p cross 1. So it has a n cross 1. So of course it is also a n variate normal with mean L dash x beta and variance is sigma square in. So this is what you have. So now we wish to find out the distribution of SSR beta cap. Therefore, SSR beta cap upon sigma square can be written as u dash diagonal of 1 1 1 how many times? R time 0 0 0 n minus r term and upon sigma square. But diagonal of 1 1 0, what will you get? Is nothing but the sum of, because u1 u2 un are independent. Why? Sigma square in. So they are independently distributed with mean this and variance sigma square. So equation 4. Equation 4 is sum of R normal independent sum of square of independent variables. Hence, it has chi-square distribution, but we can say that it is a non-central chi-square distribution. With what is the degree of freedom? R, because it is a sum of square of normal independent variable. It has a non-central chi-square distribution with R degrees of freedom and non-centrality parameters. Delta square is equal to expectation of this quadratic form. So expectation of this. So what is that? Expectation of SSR beta cap upon sigma square, and expectation of SSR beta cap is nothing but expectation of U transpose diagonal of 1 1 1 0 0 0 U upon sigma square, and but this is nothing but actually a expectation of U transpose diagonal 1 1 1 1 0 0 0 expectation of U upon sigma square. But expectation of U is nothing but L dash x बीटा, बट यहाँ पे ट्रांसपोज है तो इसका क्या हो जाएगा? ट्रांसपोज हो जाएगा. दिस इज अ डायगोनल ऑफ 1 1 1 0 0 0. This is a Lx beta upon sigma square. If you just leave the transpose, it is a beta transpose x transpose L diagonal of, therefore delta square is equal to beta transpose x L dash diagonal of 1 1 1 1 0 0 0. What will you write? It is a Lx beta upon sigma square. So what will you write about this L dash diagonal 1 1 1 0 0 L? We know that L dash L P L dash is equal to diagonal. So if we pre-multiply by this, multiply this quantity by L transpose and post multiply by the L, what will you get? You will get here P, and here it is a L transpose diagonal of this L. So that can be written as a P. So here I am writing this as a P. So this is a B dash x P x transpose B dash B divided by sigma square. And what is this? X dash P x dash. What can we write about this? What is X? What is P? Am I right? Sorry. Here it is a B dash. What is that? L dash x beta. So this is also a transpose. just 1 minute. Lx beta है, u is equal to expectation of u is equal to L dash x beta. So, no, यहाँ पे कुछ अपना मिस्टेक है. Ly equal to u है. This is not L dash y. Ly is equal to u. So that is how it is a Lx beta. And this is L, so this is a L transpose. Now L transpose is equal to identity. Why? Because here we have written Ly is equal to u. So that is how it is my small mistake. It is a Lx beta. So this is a Lx beta. यहाँ बराबर लिखा है. So this is a beta dash x dash L transpose. अब बराबर. So this is a x transpose. Now what is P? It is a x s bar x dash, and this should be x. Okay. Beta upon sigma square. But what is this? It is s. So we can write it as a s bar s beta upon sigma square. But we know that s bar s is equal to s. Why? Because s bar is a g inverse of s. So we have result SSR beta cap is distributed as a chi-square, non-central chi-square with hard degree of freedom, and non-centrality parameter is delta square. So you can see the again theorem. SSR beta cap upon sigma square is a non-central chi-square with the r degree of freedom, that is nothing but the rank of x, r is, and the non-centrality parameter is a beta dash s beta upon sigma square. And further we have to show that they are independent with the SSE. So we have obtained that SSR beta upon sigma square has the non-central chi-square distribution. Hence, result नहीं बोलेंगे. SSR beta sigma square is distributed as a non-central chi-square. आप जब non-central chi-square लिखते तो आगे non-central लिखने की जरूरत नहीं, but r delta square लिखा, इसका मतलब क्या हुआ? It is a non-central chi-square with r degree of freedom, and delta square is a non-centrality parameters, where delta square is equal to beta dash s beta upon sigma square is non-centrality parameters. Now to show that SS beta cap and SS E are independent, so we will show that SS beta cap is nothing but it is a written in the form of a blue. Now SSR beta cap, so that we have already obtained SSR beta cap can be written as beta cap transpose Q. अब beta cap क्या है? So that can be written as a S bar Q. Now their transpose Q. So this is nothing but Q transpose S bar dash Q. And because we are writing in the form of a blue, this is S bar Q. But this we can write when we are talking about the blue. So this is nothing but it is a quadratic form of left hand side of normal equation. Left hand side of a normal equation. We know that Q is a blue of x dash x beta. Why? Because expectation of Q is equal to expectation of x dash y is equal to x dash x beta, and by Gauss-Markov setup, x dash x beta is estimable and its blue is given by x dash x beta cap. Okay, its blue is given by x dash x beta cap. Therefore, SSR beta cap is a function of blue. SSE is a function of linear function of observations belongs to error space. Further, we know that blue and any linear function of observation belongs to error space are independently distributed. Hence, SSR beta cap is a function of a blue and SSE is a function of a linear function of observation belong to error space. So, they are also independent. Hence, SSR beta cap and SSE are independently answer. Okay. So, how we proved this theorem? To show that the SSR beta upon sigma square has a non-central chi-square distribution with R degree of freedom with non-centrality parameter beta dash S beta upon sigma square. So first we use the information is given. We have given that epsilon has the normal independent distributed with mean 0 and variance sigma square in. So we can find out the corresponding the distribution of y. Y is also a normal independent with mean x beta and variance covariance is sigma square in. To obtain distribution of SSR, first we define SSR beta cap. So we know that it is a beta cap transpose Q, where Q is nothing but x dash y, and substitute the value of beta cap, that is S bar Q, and we obtain that SSR beta cap, it is nothing but the quadratic form of a y, where the matrix of the quadratic form is nothing but the P is nothing but x, S bar x dash. It is also known as a projection operators. This is another way to obtain the blue of any linear parametric function which is to be estimable. So that we will see later, what is the projection operators and how it can be helpful to obtain the blue. So we further show that the P is a symmetric and idempotent, and if any matrix is symmetric and idempotent, there exists an orthogonal matrix L, such that you can write LPL transpose equal to diagonal of 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, when 1 is repeating the R times the rank of the matrix P, and the 0, 0, 0, that is the n minus R time. So now you can just substitute the identity equal to L dash L, and then you can write in the form of a U LP L dash U, where U is nothing but Ly. So it is nothing but it is a quadratic form of the U. It is a sum of a R such random variate. Now we wish to find out the distribution of a U. So we know that the distribution of U is, it is a linear function of Y, so it is a normal. So U is also normal, corresponding with mean L x beta, and variance is sigma square In. So SSR beta k upon sigma square, it is nothing but the sum of such R independent square of such R independent normal variate. So it has a chi-square distribution. Why it is a chi-square distribution? Because we know that the square of the normal is chi-square, and it is the sum of such R chi-square. By additivity property, it has a chi-square distribution with the degree of freedom is the sum of the degree of freedom of the R such variate. So it has a chi-square with R degree of freedom, but here the mean is not 0, and therefore we have to find out the non-central chi-square distribution. The whatever distribution we have, it is non-central chi-square distribution. Then what is the non-centrality parameter? It is nothing but the expectation of that quantity, and that you have solved it. It is a delta square is given by the beta dash S B upon sigma square. So SRS beta upon sigma square has the non-central chi-square with R distribution, R degree of freedom, and the non-centrality parameter is a delta square, but delta square is a beta dash S beta upon sigma square. We know that SSR beta cap can be represented as a quadratic form of a left-hand side of a normal equation, but the left-hand side of a normal equation is nothing but the blue of the corresponding expected value, and therefore by Gauss-Markov theorem, SSR beta cap is a sum function of a blue, and SSE is a linear function of observation belongs to error space, so it is a sum, it is a function of that, and we know that the blue and the linear function of observations are orthogonal to each other, they are independently distributed, hence any function of a blue and any function of linear function of observations are also independently distributed, and hence SSR beta cap and SSE are independently distributed. Okay, any questions up to this? Anyone? If no questions, then we will see one examples, because today I have shared the assignments. I will take one or two examples so that you can have an idea that how to proceed with the assignments. Already Mahesh has shared the one PDF of a linear model. So there are so many examples are given exercise. You can solve examples are given. Just try to understand that. That will help you to solve the assignments. Consider the model y1 equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 plus epsilon 1, y2 equal to beta 1 plus beta 3 plus epsilon 2, and y3 equal to beta 1 plus beta 2 plus epsilon 3. Show that lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3 is estimable if and only if lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. So we wish to show that this linear parametric function lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 beta plus 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3 is estimable if and only if lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. That means first we have to start that suppose this is estimable, and then we prove that lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. Then we can only part we show that suppose this information is given, then there exists a one linear function of observation whose expected value is identical to lambda beta. तो वो ऐसा हम ढूंढेंगे, तो that means this become the estimable. To prove also, so people can write this in a matrix notation, y is equal to x beta plus epsilon, and then they find out the x matrix. x के ऊपर से x plus x मिलेगा, उसके ऊपर से उनको s मिला, s के ऊपर से they can find out s bar, और उसके बाद s bar into s करेंगे तो आपको क्या मिलेगा, h मिलेगा, and then you can use the estimability condition lambda dash equal to lambda dash h. तो compare करेंगे तो you will show that lambda equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. So this is another way you can solve. Okay. Now we will show in the first way. Solution. Here you can see that the first beta 1 plus beta 2 plus epsilon 1. In third also beta 1 plus beta 2 plus epsilon 3. So here the epsilon 1 and epsilon 2. Okay, तो यहाँ पे आपको पता चल रहा है कि these all three are not independent. That means rank of x कितना होगा? So there are three equations, but all three are not independent. तो rank कितनी होगी इसकी? 2 होगी. Okay, and that is how this condition is arise. Consider a linear function of observation y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 such that whose expected value is identical to lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 2. Why we have considered like that? So if part में हम कहते हैं let us say lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3 is estimable. If it is estimable, by definition there exists a linear function of observation, say a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 whose expected value is identical to lambda dash beta. That is expectation of a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3. So what is expected value of, so a1 common ले लो बाहर, expected value of y1, a2 बाहर, expected value of y2, and a3 expected value of y3. But what is y1? So y1 is a beta 1 plus beta 2 epsilon 1. But we know that linear models की बात आप कर रहे हैं तो epsilon 1, epsilon 2 और epsilon 3 का मीन क्या है? 0 है. So expectation of y1 is nothing but beta 1 plus beta 2. y2 का क्या आएगा? beta 1 plus beta 3, and y3 का क्या आएगा? beta 1 plus beta 2. So you will get a1 beta 1 plus beta 2 A2 beta 1 plus beta 3 and A3 beta 1 plus beta 2. Why? Because expectation of epsilon I is 0, phi equal to 1, 2, 3. Now you write the terms of beta 1 together. What will you write? So beta 1 यहाँ पे है, यहाँ पे और यहाँ पे है. So that is how you can write A1 plus A2 plus A3 is beta 1. Then beta 2 कहाँ है? यहाँ पे. So it means A1 एक यहाँ पे. That means A3. So that is plus A1 plus A3 beta 2. और A3 कहाँ पे? सिर्फ एक ही जगह पे. So that is how A2 सॉरी A3 नहीं, बीटा 3 के साथ कोएफिशिएंट क्या है? A2. तो A2 बीटा 3. But this expected value is identical equal to lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3. So if you compare that, which implies we will get lambda 1 equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3, lambda 2 equal to A1 plus A3, and lambda 3 equal to A2. So you can see that lambda 1 is equal to A1 plus A2 plus A3, lambda 2 is equal to this and this. If you make the sum of this, which implies you can write lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. So we have started that lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3 is estimable. So there exists a linear function of observation whose expected value is identical to this. So we have taken this function and solve this and compare with this, we obtain the lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. Okay. Now conversely, what is given? Conversely, it is given that lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. Conversely, it is given that lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. So therefore, you can have this lambda 1 plus lambda 2 beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3. ये आपके पास है. So what is lambda 1? Lambda 1 is equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. So I just substitute here. So if I making the coefficient of lambda 2 together, what I will write? Beta 1 plus beta 2 lambda 2. So हाँ, बीटा 1 प्लस बीटा 2 लैम्डा 2 और लैम्डा 3 में क्या करेंगे? प्लस बीटा 1 प्लस बीटा 3 lambda 3. But what is the expected value of this? This is the expected value of y1 lambda 2 और इसको क्या लिखेंगे? expected value of y2 lambda 3. So we can write it as a expected value of lambda 2 y1 plus lambda 3 y3. लिख सकते हैं ना? Why? Because expected value of y1 is beta 1 plus beta 2 और expected value of y2 is beta 1 plus beta 3. So I can write by this expected value of y1, I can write by this expected value of y2. Then lambda 2 and lambda 3 are the constant, so I can take inside, which is this. So what is saying that this is a expected value of this quantity. Okay. Hence, there exists a function lambda 2 y1 plus lambda 3 y3 whose expectation is lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3. Therefore, lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3 by definition is estimable. Answer is okay. तो हमें क्या प्रूव करना था? First we have to prove that कि lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 plus beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3 is estimable if lambda 1 if and only if lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. तो हमने क्या किया? First we have started let this lambda dash beta is estimable. So by estimability there exists a linear function of observation a1 y1 plus a2 y2 plus a3 y3 whose expected value is lambda dash beta. So by just solving that we have obtained that this is possible when lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3. Now it is given that let us say you have given lambda 1 equal to lambda 2 plus lambda 3 and you have to show that lambda dash beta is estimable. So you have started from lambda 1 beta 1 plus lambda 2 beta 2 plus lambda 3 beta 3. Substitute the value of lambda and substitute the value of the beta 1 plus beta 2, beta 1 plus beta 3 as expected value of y1, expected value of y2. You can get this expected value of this. It means that lambda 2 y1 plus lambda 3 y3 is a linear function of observation whose expected value is lambda dash beta. So by definition it is estimable and hence the result. Okay? Any questions? Acha. I have shared the assignments. So that assignments you have to submit in the by the 5th May. अगर यहाँ पे ऑफलाइन असाइनमेंट सबमिट कर सकते हैं तो हम ऑफलाइन लेंगे, अदरवाइज आपको ऑनलाइन सबमिट करना है, वो देखेंगे द सिचुएशन के बेस पे। आपको असाइनमेंट को क्वेश्चन लिखना है, उसका आंसर दो इट इज एमसीक्यू टाइप is given, but you have to justify the answer. So that means you have to derive the solutions and whatever the answer is getting, that may be the answer of one of the MCQ. It may possible multiple answer are also true. So if you solve it, you can get the answers. Okay? These are all the examples are given. One examples I have given you the how you have to solve. Similarly, the assignments you have to work out.